How's it going, everybody? John MacLennan here, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to play Hoochie Coochie Man by the father of modern Chicago blues, Muddy Waters. I'm going to break down this song step by step for you. I'm going to show you the first riff that you need to know that happens at the top of the form, and then we're going to go into something called a 12-bar blues progression, and I'm going to break down the rhythm part and how I would play through this song. Before we get into it, I just want to let you know that you can download a free PDF in the description below that's all about soloing. It's a book I wrote called Melodic Expression. So after you go through this whole lesson, you're going to want to try and practice improvising on top of this 12-bar blues. And the book in the description you can get completely for free is really going to help you out with that. So check that out, and with that said, let's dive into today's lesson. Let's break down how to play I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man by Muddy Waters. Now this song uses something called a riff mixed in with the 12-bar blues, and it's a lot of fun to play. The first part we're going to start off with is the riff, and it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. We're going to start out by playing the 3rd fret of the A string. Then we're going to play open D to the 2nd fret. Then we'll come back to that 3rd fret on the A string. Then we're going to play an A5 power chord, which is 2 notes. We're going to play the open A string and the 2nd fret on the D string together. Now, one thing you'll notice is sometimes I pull this note on the 3rd fret just slightly, and that gives me a blues flavor. Just slightly to make it out of tune. Now, rhythmically, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. And we hit that A actually on the downbeat, so this whole riff is what we call a pickup, which starts before the downbeat. So 1 and 2 and 3. Then after we hit that A chord, we're going to rest. So I'll rest with my fretting hand here and also with my strum hand. So that's the riff there, and I'm using all down picks. Now this riff is going to go 8 times. And then on the 8th time, we're going to play a build-in and lead into our blues form. So let's play the riff 8 times, and then I'll explain this build-in. 1 and 2 and 3. One more. So what I did here is I slid up to the 7th fret on the D string, and I'm playing an octave part where I'm playing open A and the 7th fret on the D string. I just slid into that, and I'm going to do triplets, which are groups of 3. You can count it like this. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... That's a classic rhythm you hear in the blues, is just a triplet rhythm. We're also playing all the 8th notes within this song as swung 8th notes. So, and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Then we go to the triplets. So I left off the A5 on the last time. So remember, we play this riff 8 times, and instead of going there on the last time, we're gonna go, you slide up. To those triplets in octaves. Then from here, we go into part of our 12-bar blues form. Now, if you're familiar with the 12-bar blues, great. We're gonna be entering this in bar 5. So we're in the key of A, and we're coming in on the D chord, which is gonna be what we call the 4 chord. Now, if you're not familiar with this, don't worry, just check out the links in the description below. I have a ton of lessons that lay out exactly how to play the 12-bar blues in a step-by-step path. But we're gonna come in here on this D chord. We're gonna play the open D string and the 2nd fret on the G string, and we're gonna do this. Which is just an 8th note pattern, open D and the 2nd fret on the G string. And then we're gonna move up to the 4th fret and then the 5th fret. Then we'll come back down, so it's 2, 4, 5, 4 there. Then we go back to A for 2 bars. So what I did was just bring that shape that I was playing up 1. And I'm also palm muting. Keep in mind here, this is a very common thing in the blues where you palm mute your rhythm part. Then we go to the last 4 bars of our blues, and we're gonna play this. We go back to the riff there. So what I played there was an E7 chord for a bar, and I walked up the bass to a D7 over F sharp. And then I played an A7, so that was 1 bar each, a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, walk up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A7. Then here I throw in this classic Muddy Waters turnaround, which I use all the time. So that was this little shape that looks like an E7 chord, but I'm bringing it way up here to where I'm in what's called 9th position, if I'm counting where my 1st finger is. And I'm doing a lot of muting, so I'm muting the D string and the low E string. And then I can let, I guess I'm kind of muting the B string as well. So you just got the high E in there, and it's basically that sound. Then I go, that's a cool little lick. You could do it here, but it sounds closer to the record right here. Then you pick right back up into our riff. So the last 4 bars go 1. So let's try this whole thing. We're gonna play the riff 8 times, then we'll do the build in, then we'll come into the blues form in bar 5 on the, well, bar 5 of the 12-bar blues. And then we'll play the 12-bar blues and we'll finish out with this turnaround, and then we'll cue back into the riff. And that's basically the whole song, except for the solos, which we're gonna talk about in a second. So here is the whole form, starting on the and of 3. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3. right, so that's the main part of the song, is just that riff and then part of the 12-bar blues. Now, when we go to the solos, we just solo over a straight 12-bar blues. And again, if you're unfamiliar with this, check out the links below. But the idea here is that we're gonna play everything that we just played when we come in with that D rhythm, but we're gonna precede that with 4 bars. And those 4 bars go like this. So what I played was a bar of A to a bar of D, back to 2 bars of A. And that's something called a quick 4 chord. So you just play that part for the solos, and then the rest of the song is the riff with the 12-bar blues. Have fun working on how to play Hoochie Coochie Man by Muddy Waters on guitar. I hope you got some value out of today's video. As always, leave any song requests in the comments below. I'm always checking the comments to look for new video ideas because I'm posting a brand new song lesson every single day on the channel. I really appreciate you subscribing, and don't forget to get your free book all about soloing in the description below. It's a book I wrote called Melodic Expressions, and if you want to support me, you can buy it on the iTunes bookstore for $15. It has a bunch of embedded audio in it, or you can get a PDF version completely for free that's going to give you a ton of licks and exercises to practice for your soloing in the description below. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you in the next lesson.